To start with, let us go ahead with who we are. In this slide, we can see why, what, and how of the venture. This slide looks like a summary of the whole presentation. We can also refer to the innovation trinity, the desirable, feasible, and viable aspect of our venture before we work on this slide. Let us go to the next slide. This slide is problem focused, and we only talk about problem here without introducing solution. Starting with the context, when does the problem occur? What is the situation when the problem occurs? Then we talk about the root cause. What's causing the problem? What are the alternatives that customers are currently taking to solve this? And what are the drawbacks of those alternatives? Then we look at the target customers who faces this problem most. And then we look at the emotional impact and the quantifiable impact. How does the problem affect customers emotionally and quantifiably? As we complete this slide, we go to the problem interviews and survey results. We need to present data and insights from problem interviews so that we can validate the problem statement. There are a couple of techniques apart from customer interviews that one can refer for this activity. As we complete the interviews and survey results, we go to the market size estimation. TAM, SAM, SOM, and niche can be showcased as a circular format or inverted triangle format to represent the market size estimates. We can use the monetary values or the number of customers or the geographic size to showcase the market size. As we complete the market size estimation, we go to the customer persona. Describe your ideal customer in detail. Talk about their goals, frustrations, details, demographics, and ethos. As we complete the customer persona, we work towards the value proposition canvas. You can always refer to the details mentioned here to help you attain the fit. It is very important to start with the customer profile, the one on the right, before we go to the value proposition. We have a solution slide, which we need to describe in detail about what is our offering, what are the benefits of our offering for the customers. You can always complement these slides with images and explainer videos of your final solution. As we complete the solution, we can go to the competition analysis. It is important to identify our competitors and list them and analyze them criteria-wise. We can list direct and indirect competitors along with our venture details. Identify the competitive advantage. We need to figure out at least one unique differentiator and validate it with early adopters. As we complete the competitive advantage, we can go to the lean canvas. Lean canvas is a very simple and powerful tool to help us understand and iterate our business model. We can logically start with the customer segments, followed by the problem, unique value proposition, and so on to work on lean canvas. You can refer to this information while you're working on your lean canvas. After the lean canvas, we can go to the MVP. A minimum viable product is the smallest solution that creates, delivers, and captures customer value. The art of MVP is to deliver the smallest solution in the least time, which causes a customer to switch from their alternatives to your solution. To provide full product or service descriptions here, describe how your solution will work and steps the customers will follow to get the job done. MVP can be a website. If you're planning to build a website, you can visit Canva to prepare one. After you build the MVP, you can go to the validation. Test your MVP with early adopters. Ask them relevant questions. Mention the results of test in this slide. You can conclude, persevere if you find that the customers really value your MVP. You can also add realizations and the next steps of your MVP validation. After we complete the validation, we have the sales plan. The customer sales funnel needs to be aligned with the market size estimation. When working on the customer acquisition plan, make sure that you identify the right set of channels that you will use to attract the target customers. Now we go to market strategy. Ensure that you have social media presence, have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter pages. Show your positioning statement. Let us go to the Excel sheet to understand the financial plan. The first sheet is the startup cost. This is also called as one-time cost. What are the initial costs that incur? We can specify the business registration or legal fees. We can specify logo or branding or web development or even office space. After the startup cost, we have a slot for capital work in progress. CWIP refers to the cost of long-term projects and investments that are still in progress and not been completed. It very much depends on the nature of startup. Typically, an idea stage startup can keep it as zero if they're not sure about it. Next, we have starting operations. This refers to the process by which new businesses or startups begin its activities and officially commences its core operations. This can be the office setup operational costs. It can be the inventory and supplies operational costs. It can be the hiring and staffing part or building supplier and vendor relationships. After these starting operations, we have the startup capital. This is the amount that entrepreneurs require to get off the ground and begin their operations. The capital covers the essential expenses during the early stage of the venture. The sources of startup capital can be personal savings, money taken from friends and family, banks, loans, government grants, etc. Going to the next slide, we have COGS, cost of goods sold. These are the direct costs which are related to your products and services. These are not the indirect costs such as transportation, marketing and sales, or any other indirect costs. We can consider raw materials, packaging, labor cost here as a COGS. After we calculate the COGS, we go to the sales forecast. We need to note that many cells are formulated here. We need to fill the number of units sold, the price per unit, and cost per unit. The rest, which are in the red, are automated. So as we fill month on month, we will be able to also see that the total has been generated in the column N. After sales forecast, we go to the salaries. This is where you specify the salaries that you withdraw month on month. After the salaries, we go to the forecast. So this is a 1-year P&L statement, which is already calculated. We only need to fill the columns which are highlighted in green. You can see the marketing and promotion, digital marketing, utilities, and the other types of fixed expenses. After the P&L, we can see that the break-even analysis and funding plan is already calculated. We can go to the unit economics to set the customers at the beginning of the month and customers at the end of the month to calculate the churn rate. I have set 25 as the customers at the beginning and 20 at the end, and my churn rate is 20%. So all these sheets compile the financial plan. Let us come back to the next slide of funding plan. We have two important splits here. One is how much funds required to reach to the next level, and the other one is the fund utilization strategy. You can refer to this slide to understand the breakdown of the ask. After the funding plan, we have team compositions. It's here we introduce the team and their roles, explain why the team is good to solve the problem we choose, and highlight the balance and complementary skill sets within the team. One can always refer to the following websites to enhance the design and the look and feel of your presentation.